Hello, welcome back to my ATM Gravitas 2 Let's Play. My name is Gavoo Monster. I am excited to get back into working on my clean room machines as well as the autocrafting that needs to come before so I can actually use it. In the last episode, I struggled with my thoughts on how I wanted to set up the clean room. Part of it was literally finding where Volts was so I could go spy on it. Hello, Editor Monster here. So I was in the process of editing the footage for today's episode, and I realized that this episode was either going to be an hour long, which is too long for this type of video, at least now for me to do. And so instead, I'm going to focus this episode. I'm going to cut the episode in half. The first half is going to be working in the factory about trying to identify where I want my automation area. The second bit is going to be about setting up my LV machines in a method that I think is going to be conducive to automatic crafting with integrated dynamics. And then the last bit is a little bit of my chemistry processing, where I'm deciding how I'm going to approach the next step in a circuit board, and I need to create two options of a chemical, and just kind of how I evaluated that process and what I decided. I wasn't sure if it would be helpful for people to see that, and I won't say it's the most efficient way, but it's what I consider when I'm building things. And yeah, there's no right or wrong way to play this game. I've blown up, oh gosh, 3 circuit assemblers, 2 transformers during this recording this weekend, and I died a few times because I was trying to Greg while tired. So don't. I guess maybe that's the wrong way. If you're gonna Greg while tired, don't Greg with high voltage or low voltage or voltage. Similar to how you should work in the real world. Don't do that. All right. So I'm gonna roll back this tape, and thank you guys for joining me. So yeah, my next steps on this are to work on my auto crafting. I really want to work on getting this factory started to move in, and maybe it's going to be time to getting close to being able to be in here in winter without wanting to cry. This snow, there's so much snow on the ground. All right, let's see what we get up to today. I am working on doing like a little quick short on Steam miners, and I actually got the tank upgrade now for my backpack. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it or not, but it is nice to, I don't know, be able to just have water to throw down to melt all the snow. I definitely need the snow melted so I can actually work on laying things out here. And I chose to live in this climate, both in the real world and in this game. I think it does. I do like to have the snow. It's just, somehow I'm always on when it's snowing. Alright, I'm gonna clean this up and then get started with, getting some of my plants laid out. My Gravitas chores are going well. I am processing some galena right now. Then additionally, I have some of the stuff I already processed, which has aluminum and mica. All right, let's see what mica dust actually does. So that looks like it's going to be an electrolyzer recipe. But for the moment, I think I can just leave it into my storage now that it's a type of dust. It's not impure or anything, it's just mica dust. I think one irony is after recording the last episode, I had a very vivid dream about what the next step should be. I woke up certain of what those next steps should be. I was ready. I was going to do those next steps. I didn't write it down. I have no idea what it was. I just know somewhere, something is certain that this would have been the next steps for this clean room. We're going to see what I can do. But maybe it'll be that path. Do you ever have that happen? How on earth did I break that? Um, and that. Did they blow up? Was it just that swift with the... No, surely not. I'll have to pay attention to that. I don't know how, but I busted all of my pipes there. And it looks like some of the wiring here. Did these break when I put water on them? Is that what happened? I accidentally broke all my pipes here. And some water. Sorry, and some cables. I'll have to look a little closer on the footage, but if so, did not know they did that. The culprit, water. We'll have to be more careful then. All the more reason to finish winterizing this place. And I don't think I really explained this too much. Basically, I have a lot of spare steam turbine generators right now, and they are the most efficient steam to power ratio. I really want to figure out a way to read these machines a bit more, other than what I'm reading on the wikis. A good portion of what I plan to do up here is going to be run off of renewable power versus my diesel power, which is not quite renewable yet. Shockingly, I know. One thing I am considering doing is making a bridge into this next place. I think that could be kind of cool to do, because with the finite water removed, this setup here, which wasn't a video and made me kind of a little embarrassed that it was like a video, and then next moment later I ripping it down. But this, because of the finite water change, that is this setup was no longer useful or had really any meaning to be there. So I just adapted, you know. I think it's perfectly understandable to make changes. Definitely not excuses. All right, one of the things that got added was the Art Deco mod, which I believe I've mentioned. I'm so sorry, the Create Deco mod. I am so excited to get some catwalks in here. This can be so nice. They also have the support wedges and lanterns, so this is gonna be great. So I'm just gonna use uh, some of the andesite catwalks to start. I did want to take a look at some of the future ones. They got railings as well, which will be very helpful. But I currently am wimping out on setting up a pressing station. I think I could use the one that's over in the forge, but I'm feeling a little lazy right now, so I'm not going to. I do need to grab my iron door, one of my iron doors here, and some buttons. And then brick, I was going to check on my bricks. So I was processing some clay over here to make bricks. So excellent. So I got some of these. And I could also take a look at my lead. So I was able to crush a lot of lead and galena down. Someone dared to break this off here? Oh, they must have had something in particular they were trying to do. I just gotta tease them. Put it back! Yeah, and I was teasing when I said, how dare they? I really don't mind if people do make small things to get stuff through, but I know these guys. We're pretty good. That's not what I would consider griefing in any fashion. So yeah, so let's build this out more. So I'm still not sure if I'm going to like where this floor's at, but for the moment I do want to put it in because it's going to help me start working on my automation station. Oh dear. That might get stuck in my head. Maybe no other names this could be possibly considered. I really wanted it here, but then I decided I was going to make this a walkway. I do like the idea that they basically, as they work on their factories, similar to the large industrial places, that you really just make the shape for what you need, so you don't always get perfectly orientated walls and things like that. Things get changed up, and if you've ever worked in corporate America, it's the same for office buildings. They're just like, hey, I want this here today. It's like, okay, we can do that. Let's identify the items that I really want to automate here. The circuits is definitely a part of the stuff I want to automate. Before I do that, actually, I'm going to get my stuff that's macerating going here. So I have crushed lead, and I'm just like to make sure that there's nothing odd in the ore processing. Some materials like nickel, if you wash it in mercury, will potentially give you platinum. So that's why you always kind of want to keep an eye to see if there's anything special you can actually do some ore washing with. Normally it pops up on there, but let's just take a look here. So I'm only seeing the 3 options there. But say if I had nickel here that I've processed and I wanted to wash it, you'll see that processing. So it's actually the crushed nickel and mercury? Yeah, my brain just didn't want to read that right now. Crushed nickel and mercury, that'll give you 70% chance for platinum. But I'm not seeing anything like that with lead in particular. I could just cook it right now, but what I'm going to do instead is send it through my ore washer. I am seeing that there's only a chance of 33%. It doesn't look like it changes based off tier for washer, nor with the thermal centrifuge. So that's interesting. I think it's just speed then. Now let's look at the crushed galena ore, which we noticed is lead, which is Pb, and S. So lead and sulfur. So I think. I don't know how they get, how it, from a chemistry standpoint, how it's getting the other one from it. But that's all right. So I could actually wash this with mercury and get silver. So let's do that, because why not? I got mercury, I'm pretty sure. Stainless drum. I was not reading what was inside there for a second. I was just reading the drum's name. Oh, yep, there's mercury. I got 108 buckets of it. In my weirdly enlightening dream, I did decide that I was actually going to take these down and put them elsewhere. So, you know, there was that part I know. I remember. And the other thing was that I decided to do is I'm actually going to have a second floor door as well. Because I think that would be helpful. This is probably not a good, maybe having a backpack is dangerous for me. Alright, I just busted this whole door down, so this whole place is contaminated. Makes sense. Makes sense. And I'm going to replace these copycat panels with actual andesite catwalk now that we have it, which I am so excited. Look how clean it is with those connected textures. Much better. Ah! Ah! Am I using my nightmare pick? No. Not even using my nightmare pick. This one is barely a speedy pick and holes everywhere. This is a how to use your diesel efficiently with Monster. Which maybe the answer is just don't. But that's my solution to it. Alright, but yeah, one part of my dream that I do know that I was having because of this monstrosity here was that I had decided that I was going to have the storage outside of the clean room, which I believe I had mentioned before. So, because there's really not too much of a reason for this to be within the clean room, since I know the offsets from integrated dynamics do work for the storage interfaces. The only one through walls is what I'm trying to say. The only one that I'm seeing struggle is that crafting interface. So my liquid storage and my sections and pieces for the stuff can be out here. So what I'm going to do is create a drawer controller for this that really puts all circuits or stuff that would be used in a clean room as the highest priority to be in here. So I think that'll be my solution. Unfortunately, my voice just shot right now, so I need to figure that out. Boo boo. Crushed galena should have some recipes here. So chemical bath. Okay, it's not an ore washer. That's why I was gonna put it up here, because that's my I thought I had a chemical bath up here, but I don't. Let's get one. I probably also need to get food. Game food. That's how you know things are real. That's actually the complete opposite. You know food isn't real in games. That's something. Alright, I'm just gonna be reworking some of this. I did set in a nice little ramp here to my workshop, which will be nice. It was perfectly lined up, yeah. And I did turn off my centrifuge here because I'm just blocked on making this sulfuric light fuel. I really need a faster recipe for that. And yeah, so this will be able to walk through here. This has become a hallway. I do have another entrance now to my clean room, which is great. But that does lead kind of a weird situation right here with I want to get some stuff up. I did just put this as a facade here, which will be nice. Where's my crafting? This is now a facade logic cable situation. Actually, I'm going to put it on the other side so that I can actually access my stuff here. Okay, and then I'm actually going to rip this out here. My big thing is I don't want to cover this window with a path, so I think I'm just going to have a little lower nested in piece, but I don't think it's going to be the spot for me to use my steam turbines here. It's a good idea, but I don't think I'm going to execute it properly or the way I want, so I'm not going to do it. Planses. The planses can change. Yeah, I'm just kind of sold on the idea of being able to have a little platform at so I can look out the window without completely blocking it here. All right, so one of the things I looked at is I did get the basic catwalk, the andesite catwalk in place with some railings. And with this layout, I think a lot of this is going to turn into catwalks or trying to reduce down, basically be able to keep your eye going upwards. But I think my first step of automated machines is going to be right here. I know it's in front of that wall window, but I feel like this is where the window comes into play. See, I got my nice big tree here. You can also see the other catwalk on the outside there. Maybe I'll switch it up in time. But yeah. All right. So the basic machines that I was thinking about, I pulled 5 of them that I'm thinking. So a lathe, a polarizer, a wire mill, a bender, and an assembler. And I would like them to go here. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces, because of course I do. Yeah, 6 places. Darn it. All right. So I'm going to get an item pipe. So I'm going to hope. Okay. I'm going to put. Oh, I hate that. That sitting mod is rough for me because I do like to build in whatchamacallit. Whenever I see YouTubers do this, they have like this nice clear. I really should probably get used to trying to clear my inventory before I do something. Instead, I'm just like, hey, I barely can grab any of it. But gosh, if I'm not gonna try. Ba-da-ba-ba. Then here's where I was. Oop, this is full. Yep, so Pepsi and Matthias they're starting out, so they're doing some of their like TFC ore processing in the workshop, which is great because that is a pain. So I think my next boots that I have that if I can get ones that don't have the step up, I think I'd be pretty excited because the step up is just a little bit tough to work with. Yay, I'm so excited to have these. And technically, this side would also have it. You know, safety first and all. Too bad. I literally just fall. I walk right over fences. I wonder, would those stop me from falling off if I have my boots without the step up? No. This is what I would call not big enough fence. This one is good, though. Same with there. Alright. What was I doing? Oh, pipe. Yeah, we'll get those nickel back into that one space. So, yeah, I'm gonna do these here. Well, we're gonna really answer in my build's chance on if the facades cost like. Hopefully they don't. But you know, I'm honestly not sure. I always get a little nervous when I start to wire stuff, and my wiring is like, well, let's just surround the whole thing. That's a great solution. And I mean, it's not bad. Sometimes, like, especially the underground here has way too much wiring in it. I really should look to remove it and simplify it. It is, as one might say, spaghetti. And if you watch Threefold at all, his videos with Greg Tech, you would know that that's not what we're aiming for. I'm ashamed as a Threefold watcher to have such spaghetti. But I also don't want to put everything on an offset because I'm really not sure if those are leggy either. Wouldn't it be great if none of it's leggy? It's all perfect all the time. I think with a bender, actually, I don't need another one because what I'll do is there'll be recipes that are recipes of each other. So a lathe and an assembler. So these are going to be these circuits here. These guys all need power. So we will just put this battery buffer on the side since I can't do the middle. Kind of one of those things of like, if you can't hit symmetry, I try not to hit near symmetry because then it just looks incredibly gross in my opinion. Because you know your eye just gets drawn to slightly off, and that's always unfortunate. Okay, so these guys, what I was originally thinking would just be hanging out here on the top and putting them in, and that would give 9, right? And this would mean that my wonderful logic cables would have to come across, including to my mysterious missing one. And then if I needed more, I could put one on the, I could really surround this whole piece with one. So there could be 4 per space, and then 4, that's 36. So surely that's enough. So I'm either going to count on my Steam storage, or I'm going to count on my batteries, or I'm going to count on both. I would say here, let's count on my Steam storage first, because it is very renewable. I can always just throw some more super tanks down. I think I have 3 or 4 super tanks of steam right now, and I have cut off the majority of my workshop here from using steam. So it's there, and if we find that's a problem, we can look for more. All right, so this could be a cool direction to see those turbines in. Again, if I have them tilted this way, I'd get to see them. Okay, here would be too tight. That's way too close for my comfort to walk under. I just don't like how it feels in a game even. You know, that's the irony of a lot of this. So much of it is like, oh, I don't like how it feels. You don't like how it feels in the game? It's like, yep, no, too close to it. So all these locations would need to get steam imported. And I feel like maybe that's still just a scooch too low. It would be nice if power-wise, you know, I have one connection here of my 4, and it comes both sides here. That could be nice. And then same with this one here, where, you know, if I do my triple set here. Oop. They're fighting lightning dragons again. Curiosity, don't look. Oh, good, she's looking away. Not that they're anywhere near me, but, you know, they're fighting her people. Oh, I am dying of thirst. That's why I'm... When you're dying of thirst, you'll notice the slowness too, and the mining fatigue kicks in, which makes sense. I also wouldn't want to break stuff down if I had heat stroke. I'm going to put a temporary little bit of slabs here, because I just want to be able to move here easier as I'm working. So we got something here, I think. So this would power everything. I now need turbines. Turbines. So the basic steam turbine. So I link those this direction. I go like so. I could do one more in between. And then it would go up. I could potentially make this a battery buffer right here and then go up. So that'll be something, let's keep an eye if we run into an issue. And if there is a problem, we'll exchange that with a battery buffer instead of a cable in between. Because then there would be no loss. It would be charging batteries. But lead is not cheap even at HV, so we'll do this instead. Okay, so that's nice and symmetrical. That's 4 for each of these instead of 6. And they're facing the direction I want. It's a little bit specific that I want them in that direction. One of the nice things about the setups I've had before is I have a lot of pipes and other things just about. See, this is why even giving me a backpack doesn't help. It's not that I use it more efficiently. Everything's still a mess. Just now people expect me to be better at it, I guess. So I always read it. I'm like, let's make mistakes over here. It's fine. Okay. So now we'll have this gold pipe across. Does that look cool? I think it looks cool. I think I am going to switch back, oddly enough, to the hickory on the inside. I want the sequoia to be on this side. That is a future me problem. I'm going to try to handle it as a reasonable person and not change it right now. All right. So from a fluid standpoint, let's put it open on this side here. And connect that to my fluid exporter. I'm going to use my wrench here. And in this case, I do want my side offset just because of how I think I do. Let's try it without actually before I talk, say one way or another, because there is a possibility it wouldn't matter in this case. I'm and I'd prefer to know versus just say it works or doesn't work. Okay, the reason I think it might matter is because pipes in GregTech are directional. So this side is the part that is open. So right now I have this set to save offset, which is the one I don't think will work. So we're going to save the offset of this wrench here. And what we're looking for is to fill these generators with steam. And what I'm going to do is click here. So the part's been set to this, and it needs to export steam now. So I've already put my Steam card away because that's who I am. Okay, we're going to put Steam here and code a variable card for it. So we now have a variable card for Steam. We're going to put that in here for exporting it. I believe it is on channel 20. And let's check to see if it worked. Okay, so nothing that works here so far. And let me check because I know I'm doing it right here. Just to check to see. So it is 20 that I was using there. So let's change it now to part offset end side that we can edit. So this time I'm going to click specifically. Well, I'm going to specifically click here because you can see that just with offset it went to the side at the bottom, oddly enough. So now if I click this and add it, let's see what we get. So the steam, yeah, so see, we can start seeing steam coming in. Yeah, it looks like those ones are already full. Excellent. And now you can see that specifically on that side. So I think that is necessary. So that is going to power my low voltage system over here. I just think it's going to look a lot better. And then we're going to pretend that it goes to a real pipe out the wall here. I do have spray paint here where I can spray this. Let's not worry about that aesthetic until a little later. So what I'm going to do next is get this side hooked in. So in this case, I definitely don't want that. So once again, I have this small pipe here, which is also part of the reason why I wanted the smaller turbines there, is I just think it looks kind of cool to be able to... That's not the right button. I like to shutter, but I thought previously holding shift down was how I was able to do those, but I don't think it is anymore. So, all right, so all this will now technically go to this wall and look like it's doing something over there. Next up is okay, so I have stuff that'll come out. Now I need to get a item exporter. And this is items I want to get all my items gone, imported into the system. So it's actually an item importer. I never trust verbally what I'm saying. I'm almost always going to have to recorrect myself. It's one of those things where, you mean left, you say right, everyone gets confused. That's the tale of my life, I feel. All right, so I'm going to put an offset one in here because I will offset this. So I'm going to open this up so that it has an open face here, so it'll actually come this way. If you don't have it open, it won't assume a connection, but it also won't connect fully to the wall, so you won't be able to see it. Curiosity's waking up. You can see her tail's moving a lot more now. He's like, what's happening? Unfortunately for her, absolutely nothing. Nope. So we are going to make hydrochloric acid using the method here with salt, saltpeter, those two options here, and sulfuric dust. This will require a chemical reactor. So let's kind of get some machines in a row here. Editor Monster here. I realized I never explained why I cared about hydrochloric acid. And as always, it falls down to my evolution here in the clean room. I really want the EV circuits to start building some of those multi-blocks that need them. And the EV circuits is going to require a plastic printed circuit board. And there's two ways to make the plastic printed circuit board. And that is either with sodium persulfate or iron 3 chloride. And the recipe, when I was looking at these two recipes, the iron 3 chloride recipe uses hydrochloric acid and iron. And luckily, though, when you make hydrochloric acid in the reactor, you get the byproduct of sodium bisulfate, which is the item that you need to, very helpfully enough, make the sodium persulfate. So it's kind of a circular method on which one you make. If you want to use iron 3 chloride or if you want to use sodium persulfate, both of these are one step away from the process that is to make hydrofluoric acid. So we're going to focus on the hydrofluoric acid, and then in the next episode, I will show you how I actually automate these circuits or these plastic boards. All right, for sulfuric acid, this is what I'm currently thinking about. It's going to be a chain reaction. So once again, if this is your first time playing Reg Tech, I like to keep a note of paper next to me or try to pin as much as I can of things I care about, because otherwise I'm going to get lost. For hydrochloric acid, I need sulfuric acid, so I need to pin that. And then I could do it two methods, hydrogen sulfide or sulfur trioxide. The hydrogen sulfide way is I get it as a byproduct right now from one of my machines. Or I could use sulfur and hydrogen gas. I have a lot of sulfur. So this is a very quick recipe, so that's definitely a possibility here. The other option is going to be more distillation byproducts here. Is what I was seeing mainly. So I could make it with sulfur and hydrogen and just straight up get what I want. It will come as a byproduct from oil processing, or I can go the sulfur trioxide wise. So this way, sulfur, hydrogen, more oxygen equals this. Pretty simple, pretty clear. The sulfur trioxide, that's another thing I'd want to take a look at. Let's take a look at both those reactions. This one uses 1 bucket and 4 to get 1. This uses 1 bucket of both to get 1. This will go faster with less energy, so that is possibly a better option. So hydrogen the hydrogen sulfide, the sulfur trioxide. So the methods between this I'm seeing is sulfur dioxide and oxygen here. Once again, 7 EU per tick. It's pretty short, pretty sweet. Sulfur dioxide, once again, I'm using sulfur dust, but this time I'm just combining it with oxygen to get 1 bucket. It's 7 EU per tick, very much a low voltage option. I think what we're going to aim for here with sulfuric acid is to go the route of mixing it with sulfur trioxide because of that 7 EU per tick. That is, more than 4 times less energy than trying to use the hydrogen sulfide here. And so that's kind of my plan there. And then with combining it, I can use I can use the sulfur dioxide here. So even though it's 2 processes, both of these only cost me just a scooch there. Scooch is a scientific term. So sulfur dioxide, putting that in the chemical reactor, we'll get it. So another 7 here. So I'm still only at 21 EU here, but that's just what it would have taken to start with the hydrogen sulfide, not make the hydrogen sulfide. So we're going to need this chemical reactor as well. So this is 1. Oxygen gas we don't need because we have that on another aspect. So what I would like then is 1, 2, 3 chemical reactors is what I'm seeing. Yep. And then finally this one also, that's 4 chemical reactors I got there. So I have 1 here. And so definitely a little bit less than what I have there. Let's see what we got for oxygen and stuff. So this is my hydrogen gas tank right now. I do want a centralized storage eventually. And I have 2 million oxygen. And oxygen is just being done off of steam power here. Back in my area where I have, what is this stuff called? It's the scientific term. My EDF. And the nitrogen is so full that it's stopping more oxygen from being made. So that's why I haven't more yet. I'm fine with where we're at. I don't see a limitation needed. So I'm going to call it good at that. So let's work on figuring this out. So I need 4 basic chemical reactors is what I'm seeing. We're going to cut this episode here. And thank you everyone for joining me. I had a lot of fun today figuring out something that worked for what I'm envisioning here in the factory. I definitely know the walls I want to detail more, uh, but also getting this automated back here has been a lifesaver. I might pop up just a little bit of a spoiler on how much is now in our autocrafting. I'll show you how I did it next episode. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We are so close to 100 subscribers. I can't envision that. I told a buddy of mine, they're like, only 100. I'm like, do you know what type of Minecraft I play? Guys, we're kind of nerdy, like a lot. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited to see that there's interest in this, and also it's just oh, spoilers over there. You see nothing. Um, and I'm just excited to see that people are liking and interacting with the ATM Gravitas 2 pack. I think it's underrated because it is a lot of time to go into. So if you're able to give the ATM team a shout, please do. They're very responsive on their Discord, and it's fun there. So you'll see me lurking at least, and I know lots of folks who are on this server also are on that Discord, as well as Pilpos. So thank you much. I hope you have a great day.